Well, we're getting a chance to sit down with linebacker Walker Robinson ahead of the West Alabama game this week. First of all, for you, let's talk about the situation this season. I mean, you've gotten a lot more snaps than you probably thought you were going to get. There have been some injuries in that linebacker group, but you've taken advantage of that opportunity. What's been the mindset with that?
Yes, sir. I've always been prepared. I've always been getting ready over the summer, fall camp. I dealt with a injury fall camp with my hamstring, but I started getting better around week 2, and I started jumping back into the rotation. And then Will Breland went down, so we had a next man up, and thought me and the guys have been playing well, so it's been a good situation with that.
Yeah, so much talent in that group, but then you mentioned Will Breland and that injury, but you haven't had Willie Jordan all year and Cody Lowe, both kind of fighting with injuries they just haven't been able to get over. What's it been like in that room, kind of saying, hey, we got to pull together, and you've been able to see both yourself and Ralph Ortiz and some others rise to the occasion?
Yeah, we've been together the past 2 years, so we've already felt gelled together. We've all knew the defense. Coach Connors made it really easy for us, and we just felt like we were able to go out there and do what I've always done in fall camp and last spring. So, yes, sir.
Walk us through your journey to get to the University of West Florida. First, let everybody know where you're from, where you played in high school, and kind of how you wound up here in Pensacola playing for the Argos.
So I played at Fort Walton Beach High School in Fort Walton. I wasn't recruited a lot in high school. I did have a few Ivy League offers, and I was committed to Western Carolina. And that summer, the coaches all had to leave, fired, whatever the situation was, and I didn't really know where I was going to play. The new coaches there waited to contact us, so I kind of just started scrambling, looking all over. Coach Hoff and Coach Steiner were two guys who recruited me throughout high school, and I just kind of came late, probably like July. I had to live in Martin because I was only residency still open. So, but yeah, and then I joined that spring. I had to take off the fall. They had their full roster already, and that's kind of how it got started.
You feel like you wound up in the right place for you?
I do. I think I love it here. I love the new defensive staff. It's been great here. So.
Most of those Ivy League schools, it's cold up there, Walker.
It is.
Yeah, this is a lot warmer, a lot nicer. Fort Walton Beach High School, proud football tradition. I mean, I'm thinking back to a long, long time ago when I played. They had some really great names. I mean, the Danny Warfels of the world and some of those guys. How did that playing high school football in the Panhandle of Florida prep you for playing at this level of football?
Well, the crowds there are always crazy. I think the spirit sections at all the schools over there are just probably one of the top in Florida football. So, I mean, it's been pretty much the same switch over here. Good crowds everywhere we go. I feel like just that culture that's Florida football in general is just really good. So playing at all those different areas in Florida, I even played in Jacksonville a couple times. It just kind of prepped me for college ball.
It's got to be really cool to be from this area. And, about the time you're starting high school is when they're starting up the program here. But to be a part of building the traditions here at the University of West Florida. You're a guy that plays with a lot of emotion. You mentioned the crowd and kind of feeding off that. It's kind of fun to wear the new uniforms like you did last week and be part of all these firsts.
Definitely. It's been a great experience so far here. I feel like we have a really good culture with fans and everything, and we travel pretty well with other areas. And I don't know, I really like it here. So,
who were your football heroes growing up? And what position did you want to play when you were younger?
Well, when I first started playing football, I played quarterback, which didn't last too.
They get hit hard. It's not fun.
Yeah. We ran QB sneak every play, so I didn't really throw the ball much. I think the first pass I threw, it went like 5 yards and hit the ground. So, and then I switched to linebacker, played safety and linebacker and running back. A couple of guys I watched a lot was Tyrann Mathieu at LSU. I used to watch his highlight tape every practice, before practice, 4 games. So that's kind of who I looked at when I was growing up, was just watching the Honey Badger play. I wanted to play like him. So.
He was a fun one. Great nickname too, by the way. Tell everybody what you're studying and kind of what you're thinking about outside of football.
I'm majoring in biomedical science. After football or after I graduate, I was either thinking PA school or med school. I haven't really decided yet. I did switch over from finance. That was my first major. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. I kind of only picked it because Columbia offered me and they asked me what I wanted to major in. And I was like,
That's
I'm good
how
at
it
math,
works,
so I like money. So, but I'm in biomedical science now.
Math and money and all those things come together in biomedical science. Let me ask you, I like to ask everybody, so how do you get ready to play? You mentioned, in high school you're watching the Honey Badger, but before a game now, what are you listening to? Kind of what's that mental preparation like?
Well, the day before a game is where I go back over my film that I've been watching, top run, stuff like that. Stop really watching our practice film and more just about the team we're playing, like West Alabama. I'll be watching tonight and a lot tomorrow on the bus ride and wherever. But then like the day of, I always have a little playlist I go to, and that's really my pregame. Is just like I listen to this one song right before a game, and That's how I get going.
Celine Dion,
Yeah,
Mariah
yeah.
Carey, something like that,
Yeah,
just to calm you down and get you
of
smoother
course.
a little bit. Last thing for you. So fast food, which I know it's bad for the body, but where are you going and what are you ordering? What's kind of your go-to on the fly?
Well, in Fort Walton, it's a little bit farther here, but in Fort Walton, I would always go to Popeyes, and it's like a tender box.
Strong.
Get
I
the
like
Mardi
this.
Gras sauce, spicy tenders, and they did come out with the chicken sandwich when I was in high school. Their fried chicken sandwich is pretty good as well. But here, probably Chipotle is just right there, or Chick-fil-A. And
People sleep on Popeyes, man. Some hush puppies,
Yeah.
the fries are good, the whole thing, man. Appreciate the time. Thanks for
you.
sitting down with us. Good luck to you the rest of the way.